Consider a quadrilateral ABCD. We know that every quadrilateral has 4 sides, 4 vertices and 4 angles. In this video, we will understand that when it comes to quadrilaterals, what adjacent and opposite mean. The term adjacent means next to each other. In a quadrilateral, they can be angles, sides or vertices. If they are adjacent, they are next to each other. Then what does opposite mean? It's simple. It means not next to each other. Just remember these two things and you will never be confused about what adjacent and opposite mean in a quadrilateral. Let's first focus on the sides of the quadrilateral. So which are the adjacent sides in a quadrilateral? These two sides are next to each other. We can say that the sides AB and BC are next to each other. The sides CD and CB are also next to each other. These two sides and these two sides are also adjacent to each other. If you observe, all the pairs have a common vertex. The first two sides have B as their common vertex. The second pair has C as its common vertex. So adjacent sides in a quadrilateral will always have a common vertex. Which are the opposite sides then? One pair would be AB and CD. They are not next to each other. Another pair would be AD and BC. Remember, there are only 2 pairs of opposite sides in a quadrilateral. And notice that the pairs have no common vertex. So the opposite sides of a quadrilateral have no common vertex. Let's zoom out a bit and talk about the angles in this quadrilateral. What are the adjacent angles? Adjacent angles are angles that are next to each other. These two angles are next to each other. So angle ABC and angle BCD are adjacent angles. Similarly, these two angles are also next to each other. We can say that angle CDA and angle DAB are also adjacent angles. This pair and this pair of angles are also adjacent. What do you notice about adjacent angles? Yes, they all share a common side. These two angles have BC as their common side, and these two angles have DA as their common side. So what about opposite angles? There are only 2 pairs of opposite angles. This pair and this one. Angle DAB and angle BCD is one pair, and angle ABC and angle CDA is another pair. Angle DAB and angle BCD are opposite to each other, and angle ABC and angle CDA are opposite to each other. And observe the opposite angles. They do not have a common side. And that's why we say that opposite angles have no common side. You don't need to memorize all this. All you need to know is that adjacent means next to each other and opposite means not next to each other. Let's see one last concept in this video. Consider this table to be a plane surface. Assume we place a quadrilateral shaped piece of paper on it. This green portion inside is called the interior region of the quadrilateral. This blue portion outside the quadrilateral is called the exterior of the quadrilateral. And the red line on the boundary of the quadrilateral is the portion that is on the quadrilateral. Let us name our quadrilateral A, B, C, D. The interior of the quadrilateral ABCD, that is the green region, plus the quadrilateral ABCD, which is the red boundary, together are called the quadrilateral region.